Hello one and all, and welcome to Dark Vault Gaming. I'm your host, Joe Dark, and today we have gameplay from Bethesda's latest and most anticipated IP single-player space RPG, Starfield. First, I want to say, in typical Bethesda fashion of bugs and glitches, the game suffered a glitch right off the bat. Now, if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition or you have Game Pass and purchased the deluxe edition upgrade for $30 or thereabouts, you would gain access to the game approximately 1 week earlier than its release date of September 6th, almost 6 days earlier, as Bethesda, in their infinite wisdom, decided to launch the early access on August 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when most everybody was home. Great idea, geniuses. Their intention was to allow downloads a few days earlier than that to limit the massive downloads at 8 p.m. or just around 8 p.m. on August 31st. That appeared at the time to be a good idea. But on August 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, everybody on Game Pass that purchased a premium content upgrade tried to log on to the game and received error messages and blank screens and messages to go to the Microsoft Store for details, leading us to more blank screens. The more we tried, the more frustrating it became. We were even receiving messages from the Microsoft Store that we would have to wait 5 more days. Well, Twitter blew up with ticked off players that paid extra cash for early access and was being denied. The glitch lasted over 20 minutes for some. There were players that actually had to uninstall the deluxe content, then reinstall it just to get it to work. So for the game that Bethesda boasted would have the least amount of bugs and glitches on release, they gave us a big one right from the jump. Gladly, for me anyway, approximately 20 minutes later at 8:20 Eastern Standard Time, I was able to log on and play. Bugthesda does it again. Well, that was the bad part. The good part was actually experiencing a game that will probably have my full attention for years to come, God willing. In this video, I will review my first 3 hours of my gameplay. Now don't worry, I condensed the video to a short one. I don't want to bore you with my dialogue for longer than that. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on gameplay, combat and flight mechanics, quest lines, and my overall experience so far. Let's get started. Okay, you begin your adventure as a new recruit for a company called Arcos Extractor. Yeah, sounds a lot like a well-known area in Fallout 76 called Arctos Pharma. Well, this is Bethesda, right? So Arcos Extractor is a mining company currently conducting some mining for a variety of different minerals. When they send you into an area that contains a unique element of unknown origin. When you attempt to pick the element up, you experience a mind-altering hallucination, resulting in unconsciousness. It's pretty cool looking. You wake up and are greeted by your co-workers, who ask you if you are okay and if you know who you are. They hand you a terminal with a list of photos of all Arcos employees on it. Now this is where the game allows you to custom create your character by choosing one of these random images, then tweaking the appearance until you create your own personalized character. Then they allow you to choose from a series of traits, giving you specific background that will help you mold your character and creating their history in the game. Each series of traits will give you different paths during the game, as well as different quest lines and dialogue options. So you need to choose your traits well. There's quite a series of traits going on here, so take your time and figure out which one you want to choose for which path you want to go down. It's very important when entering the game. Now that you have this piece of artifact, the company wants you to get it to an organization called Constellation. The Constellation is a group of highly skilled science experts that are currently conducting research on them. You will be introduced to their courier, a man named Barrett. He's a shady character who was hired by Constellation to deliver these unique artifacts, like this one, to them for study. Kind of like a space trucker of sorts. You will be introduced to Barrett and come across some space pirates. The combat mechanics are pretty typical to a Bethesda game and are simple to learn. You do have first and third person. You actually have three aspects: a first person, a third person, and a further away third person. Very interesting. Kind of unique. I actually liked it. You can loot dead bodies similar to other Bethesda games, so that's a good thing. And it was quite a unique experience, actually, the combat. I kind of liked it. Now, after the pirates are dealt with, you speak to your crew along with Barrett, and there is a recommendation that you take Barrett's ship, named the Frontier, which is actually owned by Constellation, along with his robot companion Vasco, and you bring this artifact to Constellation. This is where you obtain your ship and your robot companion in the start of the game. This is where you're giving the Watch by Barrett as another piece of your start in the game. So it's now up to you to work with Constellation and uncover the secrets of these artifacts in your ship with your robot companion. This is where the story begins. This is the main quest line. This is your main objective. There are many other small side quests that you can do in this game. Tons. But this one is the main one. And this is how you get your ship and your robot companion Vasco. This is the start of your journey. Okay, now you settle into your new ship, ready for your trip to another planet. The planet of Atlantis, where you will meet up with your new employers, the Constellation. Once you enter the ship, remember, all takeoffs and landings will be cutscenes, and landing sites will be predetermined, so no traversing at low altitudes like you can in No Man's Sky. The cinematics are actually very cool, and to be honest, it has a uniqueness in the game, giving it that Bethesda sort of feel. You'll initially be given a tutorial on spaceflight and your piloting options. Your ship is equipped with ballistic weapons, laser weapons, and missiles. Now, you will on occasion be attacked by NPC pirates. This actually happens as soon as you reach orbit, giving you immediate flight combat experience. Remember, those space pirates are after Barrett and his ship, so you are now the target. Once you finally destroy these pirate ships, you can collect any material they leave behind in space. Collecting materials left behind from a destroyed ship is very, very easy. Space combat is very cool, and it also gives you the possible opportunity to actually board enemy ships. Later on in the game, you will be able to get a trait or a skill that allows you to target specific systems of an enemy, thus being able to disable it. Once disabled, you can actually board the ship and literally kill all of the occupants and take the ship as your own. The initial battle, obviously, you get in the very beginning. All the ships are totally destroyed. So you just clear up the debris field and continue on to Atlantis. Overall, the flight mechanics are very simple, much easier flight mechanics than, say, that of Elite Dangerous. With Starfield space travel, your flight mechanics are basically close quarters, whereas jumping to a planet is much simpler. Just view your star maps, select your destination, and then travel. Very, very simple, very quick. I know in Elite Dangerous, when I played that, it took you a long time to go from system to system. Very tedious, very monotonous. This game, it's much, much simpler. It gives you the opportunity to travel much quicker. Once you land on Atlantis, you'll meet some very interesting people. You'll also be given some side quests that you'll be able to complete on Atlantis. Now, keep in mind that everything you do, all of the quests that are given to you in the game, not only give you experience points, or XP as we call it, but they also give you money. And the money you need to upgrade your ship, purchase new ships. There are different items that you can get to improve the ship you already have, or you can just outright buy a brand new ship, bigger and better. So you're going to need money in this game in order to progress. Once you meet all of these people on Atlantis, you will then travel to Constellation, which is the organization you now work for. Now, if you're like me and you pick the hero trait, you can actually recruit this adoring fan to be a new crew member. Now remember, your ship, this guy is a goofball, let me tell you right now, but you can recruit one crew member for your Frontier, your ship. It's a small ship. The capacity is only 2 crew members, and Vasco is not considered a crew member. So you can recruit 1 crew member. This is the first guy I ran into. It was simple because I chose that hero trait in the beginning. So he tells me how much he adores me, and he's a big fan, and he wants to come and be part of my crew. I agree for the time being, but I can't wait to get rid of this guy. He is a total waste of time, but at least he's a body to fill a crew spot. So that helps there. Okay, you're then introduced to the members of Constellation. Sarah is the lead scientist, very intelligent, and maybe a romance later on down the road. Then, of course, you have the man, Walter Strout, the financier with deep pockets, and very curious about this whole situation. Mateo, a young scientist, and Noel. So that's the group. And once you agree to join Constellation, they actually give you your own room. You can store things in your room, or you can actually store things in Vasco. Vasco can store some of your items. Now remember, this is a Bethesda game. So yes, you can become over-encumbered. So keep that in mind. When you run, if you are over-encumbered, you will slow down and your CO2 levels will increase. You can actually pass out. So keep that in mind when you're playing the game. You can get over-encumbered. Anything you can store that you want for later, you can store in your room, or you can store in Vasco. Okay, keep in mind this game has a lot to do with XP, leveling up, and gaining currency. You need currency in this game to modify your ship, to repair your ship after space combat, and also to purchase new ships, larger ships, ships that require more crew members. The more crew members you have, the more intense this game can get. So don't forget, don't only do that main quest line with Constellation. Todd Howard had stated in previous interviews that main quest line runs for an average player about 30 hours to complete. There are tons and tons of side quests to do in this game. Do every one you can, because each side quest will give you more experience, more skill points to use, and more currency. The key to this game: gain currency so you can buy the bigger ships, modify your current ship, get more crew members, and progress into the game. Okay, following that up, gaining XP also gives you skill points. You will be awarded skill points that you can use to level up your character with skill traits. So every time you get a skill point, don't forget to go in and select your skill points. You have a ton of different skill points: physical, technical, social skills, combat, science. There's all different skills that you can level your character up with by gaining XP and gaining skill points. So these traits cost you skill points, and the more skill points you get, the higher you can level up your character. Another key point in this game. It's very, very important. Now, this is going to be the end of this video. It's the first video I'm going to do. The next video I'm going to concentrate on primarily is your outpost building, similar to camp building in Fallout 76. It's your outpost building. I'm going to concentrate on that for my next video. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like and share. It helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't already. And you know what to do. If you hit that bell, you will get notified of all new upcoming content. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Everybody have a great day. Excelsior! Take care. Enjoy Starfield.